I'm your host, Goryo. Welcome back to One Little Park. Today I'm going in depth into Star Wars Rise of the Resistance coming to Disney parks this year. Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is set to open in June in Disneyland and November in Disney's Hollywood Studios. Okay everyone, so the worst has happened. I had this really nice setup with my microphone on a tripod. The audio was really crisp, really loud, then my foot hit it, screwed it up with the cable. It kind of came out and didn't record the audio correctly. So I'm going to do a voiceover for the rest of the video. It'll make it easier, quicker, so I can get this out to you guys as soon as possible. I promise I'll do better next time. Let me know in the comments below if you do like the voiceover without me showing my face. I don't know. Maybe you guys don't like the way I look. But I'd like to know. I'd like to get feedback from everyone on what you think of the different style. I'll return to form for my weekly newscasts. Until then, thanks for watching. Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is set to open in June at Disneyland, California, and late November in Disney's Hollywood Studios. I have to be honest, I was most excited for Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run until I learned about the Rise of the Resistance attraction. This ride is going to be huge, with rumors reporting close to 300 animatronics, and with the largest show building ever, you can expect to be awed and thrilled. And guess what? This ride, from pre-show to post-show, is expected to be at least 28 minutes long. That's time well spent in a Star Wars attraction. Orlando Park Stop and Attractions Magazine have given us this very accurate detailing of how guests will experience Disney's greatest attraction yet. So here we are at the beginning of the queue. Before you go into the building, there's a blue and white ship. This is what's going to be our transport ship. It's going to take guests who I'm assuming are acting as members of the Resistance from Batuu, the setting of Galaxy's Edge, to what I'm predicting is a secret Resistance base. After the Fast Pass Plus and standby queues merge is when the guest will first board this transport. What we will then experience is the feeling of traveling through space. There will be large screens and sound effects to simulate the flight. In reality, the room will spin 180 degrees. This will allow guests to unload to the next area, while a second transport ship on the turntable loads simultaneously. Guests don't quite make it to the base I mentioned earlier. Instead, the ship has been intercepted by the Finalizer, the Star Destroyer under the command of General Hux. It is thought that this ship was destroyed by the blast radius created by Vice Admiral Hodo's attack on the Dreadnought Supremacy. This tells me that Rise of the Resistance takes place before the events of The Last Jedi, and quite possibly The Force Awakens. This would make sense because it can give the attraction more longevity by not taking place in the direct timeline of the sequels. Also, the name Rise of the Resistance hints that the Resistance isn't quite as established as we see in The Force Awakens. The transport ship is forced to land in the hangar of the destroyer, and as guests unload, they are met by First Order officers commanding them to fall in line as they are taken prisoner. This hangar will be huge. There's going to be animatronic stormtroopers and life-size TIE fighters. The iconic blue outline hangar entrance will be visible with the view of space outside. Of course, we get to move along, as guests are divided into smaller groups and escorted to prisoner cells. In each of these cells will be a droid that will provide safety details as well as move the narrative forward. After the droid does his thing, guests are loaded into the ride vehicle. This will be an 8-passenger trackless vehicle with an astromech droid at the helm. Once loaded, 2 vehicles at a time will be sent to processing. This begins our ride. Isn't that crazy? We are just now actually beginning the ride. As the transport leaves the cells and enters the first room, another droid is seen above on a bridge. It then hacks into the mainframe and gains control of the vehicles, making them pick up speed and get out of there. The vehicles make their way down a highly detailed hallway and turn a corner to be met by a wickedly awesome animatronic than Kylo Ren. Never to be fooled, he knows these vehicles are about to make a break for it, and he ignites his lightsaber to stop them. The vehicles kick into reverse and spin to enter a room with 2 life-sized AT-ATs. Judging by the trailer for the ride, One of the AT-ATs could fire, but this doesn't make sense to me. Why would they be manned at the time? These vehicles are meant to be ground assault vehicles, so I would think they're just stored here in this room until needed, but for some reason they do fire. Maybe there's an engineer inside doing some routine maintenance, and when he sees these vehicles he reacts by shooting at them. He or she misses, so in this room the two vehicles who have been going throughout the attraction the whole time together will split up, each making its way to an elevator shaft and moving up to a second floor nearly 40 feet from where we just were. The separate vehicles will go down some hallways and meet back up with each other. Then they will go under an elevated area that I assume to be the bridge of the destroyer. Another animatronic of Kylo Ren can be seen, this time speaking with General Hux. Surely they are discussing how two prison transports are running amok when Resistance fighters appear out of hyperspace and begin attacking the Finalizer. I expect you will feel and hear rumblings as the battle is taking place. As the vehicles move away from the bridge, they enter a gun room. Guests will see these huge cannons firing upon Resistance fighters as the vehicles drive under each of the cannons. As they look for an escape near the end of this room, Kylo Ren appears and slashes his lightsabers, hitting the wall, maybe even the vehicle, to try to stop them. The destroyer gets hit by a huge blast, putting debris between the guest and Kylo. A Resistance pilot, probably Poe Dameron, calls in to notify guests to find an escape pod and that the vehicles have been uploaded with coordinates to enter. Just before entering the escape pods, Kylo Ren has found the guest once again. You will be able to feel it as he uses the Force to halt the vehicles and probably manipulate them, probably going back and forth side to side. Another blast from the Resistance causes Kylo to divert his attention to stopping a large wall from crushing him. The vehicles kick into reverse again, this time way more aggressive than before. They enter the escape pods and upload the coordinates. Remember when I mentioned that the guests were 40 feet above the first floor? The escape pod jettisons in Tower of Terror style fashion, and guests can see screens as they fall back to Batuu. The pods crash in an old warehouse and the vehicles roll out and begin driving to the unload area. Here I think we'll be met by members of the Resistance congratulating us on making it out alive from the First Order. And that's it. Guests will unload and be on their way back to Black Spire Outpost. I would go so far to say that this is going to be the greatest theme park ride ever created. The level of storytelling the Imagineers went through to put guests into the middle of a Star Wars story exceeds anything done before. I cannot wait for this attraction to be open. It's going to bring to life a world I have imagined being a part of for 25 years. So tell me, how excited are you for Star Wars Rise of the Resistance? Will this be the best attraction Disney has ever done? Remember, one of the creative minds behind Rise of the Resistance is the same guy who brought to life the Amazing Spider-Man attraction over at Islands of Adventure, and that ride is pretty awesome still to this day. So let me know down in the comments below what you think. Are you excited? I want to know, I really want to know. It makes me excited to hear about other people's excitement. And one last thing, guys, be sure to subscribe to this channel to get all your theme park news, rumors, history, all that great stuff. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you later.